So what we're going to go through today is the PMCV specialty calculator. This is a really cool piece of software that essentially shows you the pathways for different training programs in Australia. It's all collated into one place, so you can actually see what it's like to do an orthopedic training program versus a pathology training program versus, say, if you want to be a cardiologist or a respiratory physician or a GP. All the training programs are all in one place, so you can just click on the links and see what it actually looks like, what the roadmap is to become a specialist in that field. So I'm going to take you through how to navigate through the website and how to actually use it so you can actually figure out what specialty might be right for you. Let's get to it. Okay, so we can see here on the Find Your Specialty website, PMCV, essentially all you have to do is type in Find Your Specialty PMCV into Google and it comes up. It's the first one. What it does is it has a list of all the different colleges and essentially all the specialties in Australia, and you can navigate through these to figure out what the roadmap is. For instance, how to get onto psychiatry, how to get onto vascular surgery, how to get onto endocrinology, and take you through the overall aspects of the training program, what it looks like from graduating medical school all the way to completing the full training program and ending up as a consultant in that specialty. So really cool stuff. I mean, just for interest's sake, we can just click on psychiatry here. You can have a look at the psychiatry college name. It's called the Royal Australian and New Zealand College of Psychiatrists. It gives you a brief explanation as to what the actual specialty is, but I guess if you're watching this, you probably have a good idea of what a psychiatrist actually does. Then what's really nice is it has like a bit of a diagram how it might look for you. So it has the earliest intake year, which is PGY2, so that is postgrad year 2. Essentially, after completing an internship year, you could start your psychiatry training. You can sort of see the general progression of how someone might get onto the training program. They might do the first year of internship, and then they might go ahead and do psychiatry or general or a medical year. Essentially, it's a year as a resident where, you might do, maybe it's a psychiatry unaccredited registrar role. You might be a general HMO or a medical HMO, for instance. It's not limited to those, but that's potentially what you might do. Then you might actually start your psychiatry training after applying and getting accepted in the following year. They have a minimum duration of training, which is 5 years. And yeah, you can see here up the top, minimum time to completion is 6 years from graduation. So you do a year of internship, and then a 5-year training program adds up to the 6 years that they quote there. Yeah, there's more information here. I mean, this is not an in-depth analysis as to how to get onto psychiatry training program. I'll do that in future videos if people are interested, but essentially there's eligibility requirements, there's an application process, and program structure goes through it there, what it looks like, and then the fees. These fees might be a little bit out of date at the time of writing, given that it was last updated last year in January, but ballpark figures is usually pretty similar. They also have some useful resources or courses or conferences that you might want to consider if you were to do this specialty. So that's just a bit of an overview. We'll go back to the specialties now. I mean, it's sort of grouped. We'll zoom out one more time. You can see here RACS, the Royal Australian College of Surgeons, have a bunch of different specialties under their college, and then specific organizations for the different surgical specialties. There's a separate college for medical administration, a separate college for max-fac surgery, so whole bunch of things there. I think this is a really simple and easy site to navigate through. We'll just pick one more, and we can go into a few different things that it shows, but pretty much every specialty that you can think of is on here. And although it's PMCV, which is the Medical Council of Victoria, this is for colleges and specialties all across Australia. So that might be something just to understand. Yeah, let's have a look at emergency medicine. So you can see here, minimum time to completion is 8 years from graduation. The earliest intake is PGY 3. It's a 5-year training program. This is what it might look like. You might do your internship, then you might do a critical care year or a general year with a bit more of a focus on ED placement. Sometimes critical care years are done for anaesthetics trainees. Is often it's often quite a sought after year, and they have more of an anaesthetics focus. But there are critical care years which have more of an ED focus. You might do it again the year after that, and then you might try to get onto the ED training program in your 4th year and start then. So they have some different eligibility requirements that they go into depth there. And then, I mean, if you just go into the program structure, it actually just breaks it down really simply. And so what people have done is they've just summarized from the actual, emergency medicine specialty website. So I'll see if they have a link for it here. Yeah, this looks like the College for ED, their website. And if we just go, if you wanted to just Google like Australasian College for Emergency Medicine, then this would come up and you can go through all the information that they have on offer. So, for instance, how the FACEM training program works, that's essentially just what they call a college, FACEM. You essentially become a fellow if you finish your training in ED. So it stands for like Fellowship of Australasian College of Emergency Medicine. It gives you a bit more information about the training overview, minimum time to completion. They have a maximum of 12 years, they say, to complete the program. I'm sure people will do it within that time frame. They even have a handbook, which is on offer. Nice friendly face there. Yeah, you've got like a big 65-page PDF handbook that goes through all the different things you could possibly think of when it comes to doing your emergency department training. Here we go, primary written exam. So you definitely have to sit a written examination. Yeah, it just tells you a little bit about this written examination. There's 2 3-hour papers. They comprise of 180 select choice questions, which are made up of multiple choice questions and extended matching questions. It looks like you have to have completed PGY 2 and met the eligibility requirements of examination by the date on which the examination is held. So maybe in PGY 3, you probably could sit this exam potentially. All right, and then you have a couple of other things that's in here. Anyways, I'm not going to go into detail about the emergency training program, but I guess just to let you know that this website for the PMCV essentially points you in the right direction for the specialty that you might be interested in. Maybe it's anesthesia, and then it lets you know what the college is called. Potentially, if you just click on that logo, you can actually be hyperlinked to the college website, and that has all the information about that specific training program and college of interest. They might have different guidelines and essentially different pathways or more information about how you might get onto that training program. Heaps of different specialties to explore. I think, you might just not even be aware of different specialties until looking at this website. You might just open your eyes into different specialties that might pique your interest, and especially if it's a favorable training program pathway or just something out of interest that you've always wanted to know how it works but not really been exposed to it or told about it. Potentially sport and exercise medicine might be something of interest, and then you can actually see how to potentially get there. So yeah, that's essentially how it works in a nutshell. So there you go. That's how the PMCV specialty website actually works. You can see how to navigate to different specialties that you might be interested in the specific college website that you may or may not be linked to on the PMCV specialty website. You essentially go into that page, find their training and selection part of that website, and then you can often find an in-detailed PDF or document or whatever they have that explains the actual specific criteria to get onto that training program. Now, I can go through that in future videos if there's enough interest, because there's a lot of different specialties out there, and I'm happy to talk about them and show you what the actual specific criteria are to get into potentially obstetrics and gynecology, or maybe it's a GP training program, or potentially orthopedics or pathology. Whatever it is, if there's enough interest, I'll go through it in depth, and then you can actually see the specific requirements for that year. And the PMCV specialty website link will be in the description. Go check it out, figure out what specialty might be right for you, and then you can actually have a bit more of a read as to the specific steps to take on that college website for the specialty that you're interested in. So there you go. Bye.